Welcome back to Case Files, where we dive into our players. In today's episode, we're going to take a closer look at Zach Harrison, the defensive end out of the Ohio State University. But first, if you want to do a huge favor for your boy by hitting that like button, and if you want to hit that dislike button, it won't hurt your boy's feelings. Well, maybe just a little bit. If you guys like what I do on this channel, hit that subscribe button. It helps out the empire grow. So on that note, let's continue with the show. And I'm very curious on why Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot and the rest of the Atlanta Falcons scouts decided to select Zach Harrison, because he's our only pass rusher we got in the 2023 NFL draft. Because the Atlanta Falcons have been lacking a lot of pass rusher depth. I understand completely that we signed a lot in free agency, but still you would like to build in the draft. That's how you usually create a stable, income, if you want to call it like that. But, we're going to check out his positives, we're going to check out his negatives, and see what he brings to the Atlanta Falcons table. So let's continue. In week 1, against the Fighting Irish, I gave Harrison an average game, and I put this on a side note that he didn't play most of the second quarter for some reason. He had some good moments, he had some bad moments, but none of them were game-changing plays. So that's why I put the average seal of improvement. So let's see the film and figure out what happened. So on this play, we're going to see how Harrison uses his first quick step to beat the offensive line, but he doesn't get to his target because he's not closer to the running back. But what I also like about is his motor, where even though he might not be close to the running back, he still tries to make a play and still try to make some type of effort to stop the running back. Sometimes you're going to get plays like these where you think one thing but the other really happens in reality, where you think Zach Harrison is going to the outside instead of to the interior where he's trying to affect the quarterback. But unfortunately for Harrison, number 73 kind of derails that, where he pushes upwards toward his neck area and shoulder pads, where he loses focus real quick for that 1 second. And then he kind of loses tracks where he is, but the rest of the Ohio defenders still tackles him for no gain. One thing I love about Harrison's game is his field vision for the ball, and we can see this here where they're going to ask him to be the linebacker spy, to making sure whatever the quarterback does, you read it and then you act upon on it. And you see this right here where he hesitates for that one split second, but then he goes for the attack to disrupt the quarterback play, and the tight end Michael Myers, who was drafted second round, didn't make any gains. You're going to see a lot of plays like these where he does win his individual matchups against the offensive line when he's using his big frame and using his angles correctly while using his arms the right way so he doesn't get too much contact from the get off. But we clearly see right here the running back is going the opposite way, so even though Harrison did a great job, he's just not going to get near the running back. This is what I like about Harrison's game. He's not a selfish player. Even though he might not get the first bite, he will still try to help for the assist and still try to make a play. I love it. Plus, if we see the film again, we can see how quickly he cut on a dime. For a big frame like that, that's pretty impressive, in my opinion. These are the type of plays I'm very interested in how a player adapts to certain situations that may not go forward in their way. And what do I mean by that? So we see Harrison going to be individually matched up with the running back. So clearly the running back's job is to block Harrison no matter what he has to do. So when Harrison goes down, he doesn't go fully down because he quickly puts his two hands on top of the ground so he doesn't use his whole body frame to go down. So that gives him the proper adjustment to quickly change and then make the tackle. Fantastic job. So there's one thing I've kind of noticed. If he doesn't get that first step in and get you right off the bat, he kind of struggles in trying to do anything else because he doesn't have a selective other types of pass moves. So when he gets stuck, and that limits his ability to try to make any type of other maneuvers because you can dictate what he's trying to do instead of the other way around. This is a very interesting play call because instead of using Zach Harrison to go outside to create the pass rush, they're making him to go inside the interior to go against the center. And he does a great job in creating that pass rush where the center goes backward pretty easily. But I don't think he really affects the play at all because it's really the quarterback's fault where he just throws it up way too quickly for the tight end Michael Myers, where he doesn't have that enough separation to really make any type of chain reaction. So this is really on the quarterback's fault, not on Zach Harrison's ability to get after the quarterback quickly enough to infect the throw. In Week 9 against Penn State, Zach Harrison had an excellent game. This game shows you how much potential he has to show what he can bring to the Atlanta Falcons this coming season. Everything he has done was a game changer that definitely affected the game. So let's watch the film to see why. We start off by this incredible play where Harrison is going to be in tight coverage with the offensive lineman, and even though he's being taken down straight off the bat, he still has the demeanor and the flexibility to take down the running back while he's being bring down as well. On this clip, we're seeing again that Harrison is using his ball vision to always locate where the quarterback is and disrupt his passing game. On these types of plays, you're going to have your teammates helping you out by creating pressure and creating that turnover so that you can capitalize it on like Zach Harrison has done. So JT Tuimoloau that created that pressure while the quarterback was trying to do a screen pass on the left side but didn't do a quick enough job and going high enough. So that's how it got bopped in the air, and that's how Zach Harrison caught the ball with such ease. So on this drive, Harrison has to make a quick, decisive decision to either go after the running back or the quarterback because he doesn't know who has the ball until he looks at the quarterback and realizes he doesn't have it. So then he quickly changes his demeanor to go after the running back, even though the running back had a couple of steps ahead of him, but it doesn't matter. He still pursues and tackles him to make sure he doesn't get the first down. On this play, I totally disagree on how the scheme was supposed to fit Zach Harrison when he's trying to attack the offensive lineman to try to get after the quarterback, because we could clearly see he goes straight forward instead of going outside to give him more leverage, because when he fights number 72, he gets locked and loaded and doesn't have any maneuvers to try to escape and make the proper tackle to get after the running back. This is a great swim move he made, but unfortunately the quarterback just threw the ball way too fast for him to even try to have an advantage to get pressure. So on this play, Zach Harrison is going to show us how he used his first quick step to beat the offensive tackle and almost get the sack. But what I do like is his hustle and making sure that he at least try to affect the quarterback play. So first off, I love how he does his stance. He doesn't go straight, he goes sideways a little bit. Then he uses his arms to making sure that he doesn't get wrapped up quickly, and then he pushes to try to reach for the quarterback. But then again, unfortunately, the quarterback just threw it a little bit too quicker for him. But I still love the effort, and the swim move mechanics are definitely there. So on this play, you always have to keep it 100 all the time, because if you don't get that first quick step in, it's going to be a battle until you eventually either win or lose. But unfortunately, number 74 kind of just crushes Zach Harrison and push him down to the ground because he didn't get that first quick step in. It happens more often than not, so it's nothing really to worry about, but just there to realize that sometimes you probably, if you don't get your first step in, it's going to be a lot harder for you to win the individual battle. What I really like about Zach Harrison's game, regardless if he gets his target or not, I love his awareness around the field and always looking eye to eye whatever the quarterback is doing. So mostly you're supposed to be doing that, but what I love here, where he automatically is going to see is either the running back or the quarterback is going to get the ball, and when he throws the ball, the quarterback, he goes after the ball by batting it down. Excellent job. On this play, this emphasized why I like Zach Harrison's motor and love his first quick step when he gets that nailed in completely, when he almost gets this nice sack. But even still, if he doesn't get the sack, he still created that pressure to scare the quarterback to make sure he had to throw it quicker than what he probably wanted to do when he goes down the field. Excellent job. So on this play, I don't think I really discussed how much of an athletic freak Zach Harrison is, because for his frame, 6'6", weighs 271 pounds, a guy like that shouldn't be that quick enough to making sure he gets that burst, change of direction, and go chase down the quarterback who's probably a little bit faster than him and still make the proper tackle. Excellent job completely. In Week 12 against Maryland, I thought Zach Harrison had a good game. He didn't start out so hot, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish the game. So let's just dive into the video. So on this play, Zach Harrison kind of doesn't go using his arms like I was hoping he would use, because he kind of used them both upwards, but then that made him pretty still and maintain and couldn't really lose his grip until the very end. And we can see right here, he had no effect on the play whatsoever. So on this play, I call this negate attack, where either side of the ball is neither winning or losing. So for example, this is the example. So the offensive line is doing his best to making sure that Zach Harrison is not touching the quarterback at all costs. And on the other side, Zach Harrison is pushing the offensive lineman, but he's not getting after the quarterback or getting enough separation to allow him to get that full separation apart. So that's why it's a negated effect, because either parties of the sides are not allowing the other to win the individual matchup. We have another interesting play where Zach Harrison shifts a little bit inside, and then when he goes for his quick step, he actually wins, but unfortunately the quarterback is kind of in center field position where if he needs to dodge quickly, he can without any problem. And you can see right here, Harrison has the ability to almost use his long arm to at least try to pull him down, but unfortunately, like I stated earlier, the quarterback just shifts a little bit quicker than Zach, and that's how he evaded coming from the pass rush. I can't lie to you guys, this is actually a pretty funny play. Well, especially not on Zach Harrison's department, but it was pretty funny that the offensive lineman just easily just kind of used his left side just to trip him or something for him to lose balance, and it just looks so silly looking. I don't know how he made this happen. On this play, when you're a big guy like him who's 6'6", weighs 271 pounds, and you got the big arm frame, you use that to your full advantage, and he does this right here on this run attack where you can clearly see he uses both hands quickly enough, not too long, but then he kind of pushed the offensive lineman back a little bit, and then he goes after for the kill. Excellent job. So on this play, I actually don't know what he was supposed to do, is either go after the quarterback or if they knew he was going to run and they asked him to follow the running back, because we can clearly see here, he doesn't go after the quarterback at all. No, he doesn't hesitate on that. All he does is just go on a curve round, and then he chases down the running back who's clearly, 10 yards far apart from each other, but he still tried to go for the assist to making sure he doesn't get any yardage. Pretty athletic and pretty, like I said, IQ football awareness as well. On this play, Zach Harrison's going to get an incredible sack, even though he did not get his first quick burst in or use any particular swing move to beat his man. No, what he did was go toe-to-toe with the offensive lineman, but at that very instant, he uses his left foot to give him that extra boost and to pivot him quickly enough to reach for the quarterback and to snag him down. So on the very next play, it's completely the opposite how he gets his sack. He just bulldozes his way, use incredible speed on the first burst, and to also create the forced fumble to get this incredible defensive touchdown. We see it right here where he uses his two arms to go upwards to making sure that he doesn't get clutched in the center of the offensive line of the player. And then he used his incredible length to get after the quarterback with ease. For the final film study for today's episode, we're going to look at the Peach Bowl, and I thought Zach Harrison had a good game against Georgia. So let's just dive into the video to see why. So on this play, I'm pretty sure the intention was Georgia to make a screen pass on the left-hand side, but unfortunately for them, Zach Harrison broke the offensive lineman, so he didn't get clutched like they were hoping him to. So he created that pressure, so Stetson Bennett had to change direction when looking to his eyesight, so he decided to go towards the right side to get an easy 5-yard completion. Sometimes in games, you're going to have blown coverages. It's kind of rarely to really see that, but you can clearly see that no one even going to block Zach Harrison, no offensive lineman, so he get this negative yardage to McConkley pretty easily for a lot of negative yardage. Sometimes when you have plays like these, even though you beat the offensive lineman and you get to your objective, unfortunately, the other guy might have a little bit more speed than you, and you just can't control that. So, luckily for Zach Harrison, this was not a touchdown because the Georgia running back just fell down on turf grass for some reason. I don't know why. But we can clearly see here that Zach Harrison does use his great swing move mechanics to get after the offensive lineman with ease, and then you can see that split second of, I don't know if it's hesitation or he didn't decide, or he wanted to decide if he wants to leap for the running back, but that quick second really turned the tide. And then again, you're dealing with a speedy running back, so it really is a difficult situation to really calculate on. So on this play, Zach Harrison, who is a third-round pick, is going against Broderick Jones, who is a first-rounder, 14th pick overall for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we can clearly see this matchup that Zach Harrison is struggling because I think he didn't get his first quick step in. So Broderick Jones just uses his stance to make sure he gets the proper grip and to not him allow to get overwhelmed or get over angled incorrectly so he doesn't lose focus. And that's how Zach Harrison does not win this individual matchup. On this play, I don't like this coverage for Zach Harrison because they're so tight with each other that it's hard for him to get flexibility and create separation if he needs to be, because when he's already at the point of attack, the offensive line grips him so easily that he can't make or maneuver any move. But luckily for him, the running back just went straight for him, so that's why he got that easy read and tackled him. So on this play, this is a team effort by the 4 defensive linemen, where first their job is to try to win their individual matchups as the best of their abilities. Number 2, to create pressure to make sure that Stetson Bennett either gets sacked or try to make it incompletion. So what Zach Harrison is doing, where everyone else is doing as well, they are winning their individual matchups right here, where he's pushing back number 65. Even though he might not be the nail of the coffin, at least he's creating pressure to making sure that someone else would do the dirty work or finishing the final blow if he can make it. Fantastic job by all 4 of these men. Sometimes in football games, you're going to have the quarterback doing gimme sacks, I like to call them, where the quarterback just rushes towards you while they're not realizing it, and you just take full advantage of the situation and grab the quarterback and shut him down. Plays like these where Zach Harrison is duking it out with the offensive lineman, but when he sees Stetson Bennett stepping up, he quickly tackles him to the ground easily. So on this play, Zach Harrison will use his strength and bull rush mechanics to get after number 59 quickly enough where he was trying to affect the passing throw of Stetson Bennett to try to make it incompletion. But unfortunately, Stetson Bennett has some fast hands and he throws the ball way a split of a second to really make a difference, but I still love the effort. Unfortunately, there are some plays like these where you do everything right. You get up the first step block, you beat your man, you're close to the quarterback, but the quarterback just throws the ball quicker than you can sack him. And that's happened right here, where you see he beat number 59 easily. He angles everything properly right, but unfortunately the other offensive lineman just comes there in a split second of a hair and derail Zach Harrison's chances to bring him down, because this was a major critical play that could have changed the outcome of the entire game. So what is the final verdict for Zach Harrison? I think the young man is very talented. There's no question about it. I like his first quick step than most of the players that came out of this NFL draft. I like, his athleticism. I love his size. I think he has very good IQ ball vision. There's no question about that. Now, the thing, it kind of worries me that sometimes if he doesn't win that first quick step, or if he doesn't get that quick slant or a very vertical slant, it's hard for him to win those individual matchups. And unfortunately, at this time period, he's not an every down player. So what do I mean by that? He's just not on the field. Now, that's either because of the Ohio State schemes are allowing him not to participate, or he just physically can't at some times and points because he might get too tired. But hopefully he can, change that when he gets to the NFL, probably a couple of years, 2 to 3 years at the most, where he could become a every single down player. I think coming into the Atlanta Falcons is a perfect situation for him and for us, because we got a brand new defensive coordinator, and then we got all these players that could definitely teach him the ropes. Grady Jarrett, David Otamata, Timmy Horn, Taquan Graham, Eddie Goldman, Joe Gazzano, and then Calais Campbell, where they all have pretty significant talent, knowledge, and abilities to teach this young man to do battle and to combat. And I think it gets even better because he gets to learn under them, that he doesn't have to go so out of his control to already, prove himself. No, he can wait and learn, and then that develops him the right way, where he's not thrown into the wolves where he might get massacred or something like that. So I think this is a great setup for him, and I definitely see a bright future in him. So we clearly know his strengths and weaknesses. Now we can improve on those weaknesses, so when he goes onto the field, he won't be such as a hazard to us when he's on the field. So I like this pick. So on that note, if you guys are still here at the very end of the video, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for taking your own personal time and day to watch this type of content. I love making these videos. The next episode will be a mystery one. So what do Falcons do? Rise up. Until the next episode, show love and peace to the world, and peace.